Hey guys, it's Mrs. Aki, and we are going to go over our target for this video is that you're going to be able to order integers and you're going to be able to take their absolute value. So let's go ahead and get started. If you don't have your notebooks out, please get that out now. Pause the video and go do that. Awesome. Thanks for being ready for the day. So here's how Cornell Style Notes works in this class. Right here at the top of your paper, I should see two things. The first thing I should see is a title, and the second thing I should see is that essential question. I'm going to leave it as EQ, essential question. On this side, there's going to be notes that you're going to write. On this side, it's your key concepts, and vocab. And down at the bottom, here's where you're going to see, I would like to see, and this is what I'm going to check, the answer to the essential question, your answer to the EQ. Okay, here's how I'm going to be grading your notebooks. By just having the title and the essential question written down, that's 1 out of 4. Okay, the second thing is you get a 2 out of 4 by having notes. You get a 3 out of 4 by at least having a couple concepts and vocab terms in there. And then here's where I'm really going to get you guys is with this essential question. I want you guys to be really thinking about how to answer it. You'll get a 4 out of 4. So all of these things combined is how you're going to get your 4 on notes. Okay, my PowerPoints in the next couple slides are going to model this, so you'll be able to understand what's going on. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here's where I'm looking for 1 point. Here's your title and your essential question. Here's your first point. We're talking about integers and absolute value, and your essential question is how are velocity and speed related? So just by having that done, you already got 1 out of 4. All right. Integers and absolute value is our two vocab terms that we are going to be talking about. Integers are positive and negative whole numbers. -3, +3. -2, +2. -1, +1. 0, so on and so forth, are integers. Absolute value is talking about this distance. Super important that you talk about distance between the number and 0 on a number line. So the distance between -4 and 0 is 4 units. The distance between 4 and 0 is also 4 units. These bars right here are a mathematical symbol for absolute value. So the absolute value of -4, the distance between 0 and -4 is 4. The absolute value of 4, the distance between 0 and 4 is 4. All right. If I went too fast in this video, it's your job to pause it, rewind, make sure that you are going at your own pace. Don't worry about me, you go at your own pace. All right, let's look at some examples. Find the absolute value of an integer. So in your directions, there's two ways that you could see this. You could see it written as absolute value, me telling you with words, or I could be using the bars to tell you to find the absolute value of 7. For this one, I'm telling you with words. So the distance, find the distance between 0 and 7 on the number line. What's the distance between 0 and 7 on the number line? 7. The absolute value of 7 is 7. 2. Find the absolute value of -1. So what's the distance between 0 and -1 on the number line? The distance is 1. That's a better one. Okay, 3. What's the distance between -5 and 0 on the number line? 5 units. So 5 is the distance. What's the distance for number 4 from 0 to 14? 0 to 14 is 14. So the absolute value of 14 is 14. Okay, copy and complete the statements using less than, greater than, or equal to. Number 5. So I'm going to erase my page and I'm going to write a number line. Number lines can go right to left or up and down. So I can start thinking about where to put all these. Here's 0, so here's all my positives, here's all my negatives. All right, the first one, the absolute value of -2, so the distance from 0 to -2 is 2, so this one's going to be at 2, and -1. All right, which one's bigger? Absolute value of -2. All right, 7, -7. -7 is further than -1, and the absolute value of 6, so the distance from 0 to 6 is 6. Which one is bigger, -7 or 6? 6. 7, the absolute value of 10 is 10. And then we have 11, which one's bigger, 10 or 11? 11 is bigger. Okay. We have 9 and the absolute value of -9. The absolute value of -9 is 9. So 9 and 9 are equal. All right. Now, this is the last 2 sections I want to see in your notes. I want to see this on your own. What I expect to see is that you pause your video and you try these problems on your own, and when you're ready to check your answers, you press play. So go ahead and pause your video and try these 5 problems on your own. Thank you for pausing your video. For number 1, you should have found that the absolute value of 6 is 6. The absolute value of -13 is 13. The absolute value of 0 is 0. The absolute value of -17 is 17. 5, you deposit $125 into your checking account. 1 month later, you withdraw 65. Write each amount as an integer. So you deposit 125. That's going to be a positive 125. And then you take away 65. Write each amount as an integer. There we go. So 125 and then -65 because you took away that 65. All right, what I expect to see now is that you go ahead and answer this essential question. I'm going to be checking this in your notes, and then now you're going to go and take that checkpoint in Schoology that's right under this video notes. I hope you guys had are understanding how to take the video notes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.